Determine the range, mean, and standard deviation of the data set. Round the mean to 3 decimal places as needed and the standard deviation to 2 decimal places as needed. Okay, first of all, it wants us to find the range. So let's do that. Remember that the range is simply the maximum value minus the minimum value. If you look through here, you can see that the largest value is 14 and the smallest value is 3. So the range is 11. Easy enough. Now for the mean and standard deviation, my recommendation is to use your stats mode on the Casio FX260 for the mean and the standard deviation. And to do that, you've got to get the numbers in there. So you turn it on, you press on several times to make sure you've cleared the display. There are other ways, but that's my favorite way to make sure everything's clear. Once you've made sure that your calculator doesn't have any data already stored, then you go into the stats mode. And this should be old hat to you by now. You press mode, followed by the decimal point, and you should see a little SD pop up in the upper right hand of the display that tells you you're in stats mode. And then you enter the data, and you enter the data one at a time, pressing the M plus key between each one. So you would start off and you would put 13, and then you would do M plus, then you would do 14, and you would do M plus, and then 13 again, M plus. And I'm not going to bore you with every single one, but you keep going till you get to the end. You've got 9 M plus, and then 3. And as I've mentioned before, sometimes people tend not to press that M plus key the last time, but the number does not go in if you don't. So don't forget that last M plus. Then I would say check it to make sure you really have the correct number of numbers in there. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers. If you do Shift 6, that shows you how many numbers you've entered, and it better be 8. If not, you've made some mistake. I won't write that down as a step, but that's certainly my suggestion. Then you want to calculate the mean. And you do that. Again, this should be old hat by now. Shift 7. Shift 7 gives the mean. And when you do that, you should come out, and it says to go to 3 decimal places on the mean. You come out to 3 decimal places, 9.250. Then you do the standard deviation. And the standard deviation is Shift 9. And if you do Shift 9, you end up with a standard deviation. And it said here to go to 2 decimal places. And that comes out to be 4.37. So there's the mean and standard deviation, and the range was done earlier. It's mainly a matter of being careful.